So you want to build more muscle to build a more aesthetic physique, but you're a complete beginner and you have no idea where to start when it comes to working out. You have very little muscle and you want to build a good physique, but you don't have access to a gym. You have no idea what you're doing and you're just a total beginner and you don't really know where to start. So first of all, you don't need any equipment for this. You don't need to be experienced for this and you don't need to know a lot about working out. I went from this to this. I put on a pretty good amount of size by simply just doing calisthenics and body weight exercises. First of all, let's go over some basics. So first of all, a rep is simply just doing one movement of the exercise. So one rep of a push-up is one push-up. One rep of a bicep curl is just one bicep curl. Pretty much with any exercise, one rep is just one movement of the exercise. Then a set is pretty much just a collection of reps. So if you do 10 reps of bicep curls or 10 reps of push-ups, that's one set for those exercises. And then a very common thing you'll hear when you start working out is training to failure. Failure is just where you do amount of reps till you can't do any more. So let's say I do 75 push-ups and I literally physically cannot do more than that. That means I'm going to fail. What makes an aesthetic body? Well, this is kind of subjective and it just comes down to like what you want to look like. But most of us want to have sort of a pretty muscular physique with a low body fat. And typically you want to have wider shoulders, well-developed chest and upper body, and sort of a smaller waist. So to look aesthetic, the main muscles you want to focus on are these. Now, of course, we'll work out our legs, but these muscles that I just listed out are going to contribute the most to an aesthetic looking physique. So before we get to the exercises, here's how we're gonna structure our workout. Now, as a noob, you don't want to do a super difficult David Goggins style workout that is like an hour long and just super difficult where you feel like you're about to die. You don't wanna do that, and the reason why is because you probably can't stay consistent with it. Right now, if you're new, you probably don't have the habit built in of working out yet. So we need to basically build that habit right now. So doing a super long workout is gonna help build the habit. What's gonna help build the habit is just doing simple workouts that we can stick to and stay consistent with. So right now for our workouts, we're gonna be doing a full body workout. So pretty much we're gonna hit pretty much all of our muscle groups in one workout, and this should take around 20 to maybe 40 minutes long. So you can do this workout 3 to 4 times per week. If you're super new to working out and you have pretty much no experience, do 3 times per week. If you can do 3 times per week and you feel like you can do a little bit more, then start doing 4 times per week. But if you're very new, just start off with 3 times per week. What we're gonna do with this workout is we're gonna basically work out every other day. We're gonna be doing 2 sets for each exercise to complete failure, and then in between each set and each exercise, we're gonna be taking around a 30-second to 90-second break in between each exercise. Step 1, put your hands at around a shoulder width apart. Step 2, you wanna have your elbows tucked in like this. You don't wanna have your elbows be flared out like this on the way down. They should be tucked in like this. You want a straight back. You don't want to be bent like this or anything weird like that. Keep a straight back like this. Then your hands should be a little bit behind your shoulders like this. And all you're gonna do is press down, make sure your chest touches the ground, and press back up. These exercises, it's better to do less reps, but with perfect form, than to do a lot of reps with garbage forms. If you are bad at push-ups right now and you can only do like 10 or less, practice doing knee push-ups and elevated push-ups. And once those become easy for you, then you can start doing regular push-ups. For your upper chest, you're gonna do decline push-ups. Don't put your feet on an elevated surface any higher than 2 feet, and the form will be the same, and this is for upper chest. If you can't do decline push-ups right now, try doing a lower surface like this, or you can do knee decline push-ups on a lower surface. All right, so this next push-up variation is for triceps. So the form is pretty much the same as regular push-ups. You're gonna keep a straight back, shoulder width apart, except what you're gonna do is you're gonna place your hands on the ground like this. Your elbows are just gonna be flat like this, and then your arms are just going to be parallel, not out like this, not in like this, just parallel. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna push up like this. So here's some harder and then some easier variations of this tricep push-up. The more you lean forward like this, and the farther your body is above your arms, the harder it is to push up. And the farther your body goes from your hands, the easier it is. So right now, if you feel like you don't have that much strength, start off by going far away like this, keep your back straight, and push up. You can see the range of motion is smaller. Once that becomes easier, move forward a little bit and it'll get a little more difficult, like this. And then once that becomes too easy for you, move forward like this, and it'll be the hardest. So next we're gonna be working out biceps and lats, which is pretty much just the back muscle. So we're gonna be doing chin-ups and pull-ups. And these progressions for chin-ups and pull-ups are basically the same. So you're basically gonna be doing the same thing for chin-ups and pull-ups. And pull-ups are one of the harder exercises when it comes to calisthenics for beginners. So there's gonna be more pretty much like progression exercises in this section. So the first progression is to simply practice dead hangs. You're just gonna hang from the bar as long as you can. Same thing with the chin-ups. You're just gonna practice dead hangs, but with a chin-up grip. Second thing you're gonna do is scapular pulls. You're pretty much hanging on the bar and pulling your shoulder blades together like this. This will get you some of the basic grip strength and the basic strength to start doing a pull-up. You do the same thing with a chin-up grip as well. Once you get used to that, now we're gonna be doing Australian pull-ups. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna find a piece of wood like this or anything that hangs over, and you're just gonna pull yourself like this. Keep it straight back. You're gonna do the same thing with chin-ups, except you're gonna be doing a chin-up grip. Once you do that, now we're gonna basically be doing jumping pull-ups. So you're just gonna jump, and you're gonna just try to hold the pull-up position as long as you can. So we're gonna jump and just try to hold it as long as you can. I can hold it pretty long because I can do a lot of pull-ups. For you, it might be only like holding it for 1 second, but do it as long as you can, and if you can do that, then you're gonna be making progress. We're gonna be doing the same thing with chin-ups. You're just gonna jump and get yourself in that pull-up position, and you're just gonna hold it for as long as you can, just so you can get some of that tension on your body. The next thing we're gonna do is we're basically gonna hold it, except we're gonna hold it for a little bit longer, like this, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically change the position and then hold it. So we're gonna jump up like this, then we're gonna hold it at this angle here and then release and then start over again. So pretty much holding it at the fully bent position like this, and then at the halfway position like this. Next, we can just pretty much do regular pull-ups and chin-ups once we get the hang of those. These are called pike push-ups. They're basically push-ups that work out your shoulders. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna get in a bent position like this. The further your feet are away from your hands, the easier it is. And the closer you bring your hands together like this, the harder it is. And all you're gonna do is you're basically gonna face your feet like this. You're gonna be looking at your feet while keeping your legs straight, and you're just gonna push down. Now, to make this a bit easier, if that's too hard for you, what you can do is you can just bend your knees like this, put your feet together, lean forward like this in a bent position. Then you're gonna put your hands right at shoulder width apart, and look at your feet, and pretty much you're just going to push down like this. All right, so for this exercise, all you need is a chair like this, and then a backpack with some weight in it. So you can add rocks, water bottles, pretty much anything that is heavy. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna put one of your feet on the chair like this and your knee to the ground. Then you're going to basically just lean your body forward like this a little bit. Then you're gonna grab the bag, and your body and your knee should be at the same angle. So now what you're gonna do, you're just gonna grab your bag and you're just gonna basically stand up, and you're gonna repeat this. So it should look something like this, and you should feel it in your quads, in your hamstrings, and in your glutes. The next exercise for your legs are holding squat positions. So all you're gonna do is basically just squat down and hold it for 1 minute at a time. Right now, if you're new, try squatting without any extra weight, and if that's too easy for you, add some weight in a backpack or anything that is heavy. How much weight do we put in our backpack? Well, pretty much just choose any weight that you can barely hold in a squat position for 1 minute straight. So it should be extremely hard, especially towards that 45-second to 50-second mark. Not sure what these are called, but they work great. So all you're doing is you're gonna lay flat, and then your hands and feet are gonna come up at the same time, and you basically just touch your hands and feet together like this. So do 2 sets of these to complete failure. So do as many as you can. So these are called Russian twists. They work out your side abs or your obliques. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down with your feet above the ground like this. Get something heavy like a backpack filled with rocks or bricks or pretty much anything heavy. And you're basically just gonna move it side to side like that. So each exercise, you're gonna do 2 sets. Then you're gonna rest 45 to 90 seconds in between each set and exercise. Then you're gonna do each exercise to failure or close to failure. Here's the progression exercises for pull-ups. It'll be the same thing for chin-ups, just with a different grip. So you're gonna do these in order. So if you're super weak, you're gonna start off with hanging on the bar. Once that becomes easy for you, you move to scapular pulls, and so on for this whole list. You're basically just gonna find whichever one you can currently do right now. And once that exercise becomes easy for you, let's just say it's Australian pull-ups, then you're gonna move on to number 5, which is the next hardest thing, which is jumping pull-ups and so on. And this is the same thing with push-ups and the tricep push-ups we did and decline push-ups. They're all pretty much the same thing when it comes to progressions. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna find one you can currently do. Once that becomes easy for you, then you're gonna find the next most difficult thing to do. So now we have all the exercises we need to pretty much just build an aesthetic body. We have exercises for almost all the aesthetic muscles. We have the workout split, how many times per week we should do this workout routine. It's a full body routine, we know that, right? And also we have the progressions for the exercises, and we know how to do the exercises. The last thing we're gonna go over is progressive overload. Doing progressive overload properly is one of the most important things when it comes to building muscle and actually to keep on building muscle. So what is progressive overload? Well, here's an example to make you understand it a little bit better. So let's say right now you can do 5 pull-ups, and that's as many pull-ups as you can possibly do. So you do 5 pull-ups every single day. After doing 5 pull-ups every single day for 2 weeks, now doing 5 pull-ups feels kind of easy when it used to feel like it was extremely hard 2 weeks ago. Now you're progressing, you're getting stronger, but doing these 5 pull-ups isn't gonna do the same effect as it did 2 weeks ago because now it's easy for you. So you need to find a way to make it difficult again. So how do we do that? Pretty much when you do exercises, your body is going to get stronger, and from that your body's also gonna build muscle from that, right? But eventually, the exercises you're doing right now are gonna get easier. And we don't want them to stay easy because then we're gonna stop building muscle and we're not gonna be working out our muscles as good as we could before, right? So pretty much progressive overload is just keeping on making the exercises more difficult. So how do we do it? Here's some common ways you can do it. So the first thing is you can make the exercise more difficult, and we went over that. This could be going from Australian pull-ups to doing maybe like negative pull-ups or partial pull-ups or jumping pull-ups, right? This could be doing kneeling push-ups to doing full push-ups. That's one method, is making the exercise more difficult. The next method is doing something like adding weight to the exercise. So let's say if you wanna, make push-ups a little bit more difficult, because you can do a lot right now, what you can do is you can put a backpack on and add some weight. Same thing with pull-ups. Another thing you can do is have slower rest times and also add more sets into your workout. So let's say right now you do 2 sets of push-ups to complete failure with around 90-second breaks in between. Maybe now you do 3 sets of push-ups to complete failure and you only do 60-second breaks in between. Another way you can make the exercise more difficult is doing it slower. So doing 20 push-ups super fast like this is gonna be a lot easier than doing 20 push-ups extremely slow and controlled. Now, I'd say the best options for progressive overload will be adding more weight, doing more sets, lowering the rest times, and then also doing a more difficult variation of the exercise. I would say right now, if you're a very beginner and you don't really know what you're doing and you're kind of weak, then do the progression exercises so you can get better at those exercises. Once you get to a pretty good point where you're pretty comfortable with working out, then you can start experimenting with adding some weight. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video. The goal of this video was to pretty much just get a complete beginner or a complete noob and give you everything you need to know to have a simple workout routine without having any special supplies. If you have any sort of questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments.